A lot on the line here is Finland versus Saudi Arabia. We're rejoining the action here, this time on the Xbox One, and the Royal quite simply has to get the job done here.
Needs 3 points. A draw is not enough, otherwise France will be going through to the knockout. So much pressure on the Royal. However, he has been under pressure so far this season. He has achieved fantastic heights throughout several different competitions. Dasari is not the only big name on this team.
So corner here to Saudi Arabia. Inside the first few moments of this game, what has the Royal got up his sleeve here as far as his set pieces are concerned? Looks for the header of Ronaldo, looks for that looping header towards the back post. And it kind of drifts harmlessly over the bar there. You can check on the position of these two teams as far as the tables are concerned as well. You can see how tight it is and how much Saudi Arabia need these 3 points just to be in with a shout down. It's not even a case of 3 points and they're through. They need 3 points to make this 2v2 their chance to go through to the knockouts.
Yeah, that was live standings as well, with that current 1 point that they would get if they actually drew this game on 16. So it's not like they can win one and draw one. They need to win both of them. Just as we left the game, though, Sweden were able to secure a goal. It was a little bit fortunate coming off the shin of Maldini, but an important game indeed for Sweden, both for their individual performances and for those Global Series rankings. Elsewhere, England, South Africa. England, although they've qualified and they're through as first, it's a chance for Tex to warm up a little bit before the quarterfinals.
You can see that goal there, the shot from distance, but I've just seen something out of the corner of my eye. And it is Finland who go into the lead against Saudi Arabia. As it stands right now, France would be going through and Saudi Arabia will be crashing out of the tournament.
I'm just trying to look to see if I can see any French players in the crowd, because I'm sure they are elated at the moment. However, not over yet, but definitely something to start getting excited about. All to do now for the Royal and Saudi Arabia, as Finland are looking to try and dent the hopes of any Saudi fans.
What a goal that could be in the context of this tournament. Let's take a second to think about who a lot of people were saying were favourites coming into this tournament. Germany, gone. Saudi Arabia, right on the edge, as it stands as well. Speaking of as it stands, there is the table, and French fans will be rejoicing as Finland are looking to double their lead here. Van Dijk has to come across here and do some defensive work for Saudi Arabia.
I mean, not only is Saudi not going to get a qualification spot, Finland could potentially finish above them if they keep going down this avenue. I don't think anyone would have picked them to finish third in this table. But it is only the first 15 minutes. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, and let's not forget how well the Royal has played this season.
The thing is, he does need 2 goals now. We should keep that in our thoughts as well. It's not just the fact that they need to get a point from this one. They need to take all 3 down, so 2 goals they need. That's a minimum in this game. And here comes the Royal, looking for the first of 2. Mbappe wins the ball back. Vieira steps in. Strongly there for Finland. And here come the party crashers again, trying to find Mbappe on that left-hand side, and the Royal comes forward for Saudi Arabia. Pull it at the bottom of this diamond in midfield now. Vieira steps forward. Offside trap here from Finland. Ball over the top. In behind, Ronaldo towards the back post. Ramos has to clear.
Can the Royal handle the pressure? Because the weight of the whole of Saudi Arabia is on his shoulders right now. Dasari literally on his shoulder right now, watching every move. And I thought it was in. I think the Royal thought that might have been in as well.
Corner here to Saudi Arabia then. In towards the edge of the box, Ronaldo! Denied by the crossbar, but it's 1-1 now. Saudi Arabia are back in the game.
And the first step completed for the Royal, just merely getting back into this game. Now he needs to press on and start looking for a second, maybe a third even. Because he saw what happened to MS Dasari in the first game. A 1-goal lead is so fragile.
If you were thinking about leaving the action, do not go anywhere. So much relying on this particular game. Speaking of other games, though, we have a goal again from England, and Tex has been on fantastic form so far. Neymar driving that one home on his left foot. Sweden also doubling their lead, and a little bit of fortune favouring Boras legend there. And I think you'll see the reaction of Megabit here.
Oh my God!
I think we don't have to say any more.
I mean,
Nothing to add to it.
I can't help but laugh, just because Megabit, I love how he wears his heart on his sleeve and shows every single emotion. But at least he can have a little giggle about it as well. But England securing another 3 points potentially if Tex can carry on his fine form. And actually England and Brazil fighting for who can get the most points in the group stages right now.
Well, here comes the Royal then. Accelerated fake shot inside. Hull it now. On the edge of the box. Chance here for Ronaldo! And the Royal is getting the job done. Saudi Arabia 2-1 up now over Finland. They need this win to send it to the 2v2. And the Royal is doing his job.
How about that for handling some pressure? And you saw how he celebrated towards his coach as well. This is my game. I'm going to secure these 3 points. I'm going to give us the chance in that 2v2. England increasing their lead versus South Africa. Tex on a tear and starting to get in full form. And it's just laughter for him now. It's just enjoyment. He really is in his element, and what a season he's had.
And that's scary. When Tex is smiling and enjoying his FIFA, you know he's playing well.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how it stands at the moment then. France still holding on. And I use that term, holding on, because that's exactly what they're doing. But Finland almost broke through there. England top of the group, qualified. Maybe we'll go through if it stays like this. As group winners, Finland still trying to upset things here, but Mbappe's at the back post, and Ramos again has to scurry back into that full-back position to defend. Corner here for Saudi Arabia, cleared away by Vieira.
And I'm liking this from the Royal and Saudi Arabia, pushing for that third goal, maybe learning from the mistakes of the previous game with Dasari, where he was perhaps playing the ball around a little bit too much, wasn't able to find that second goal, and then punished in the final seconds of the game. Of course, he was unfortunate in certain areas, and there were chances for him to secure that 2-goal cushion. And that game done and dusted now, and all the focus on the Royal.
Well, chance here for Finland just before half-time then. Will be a corner. Whipped in towards that back post. Goalkeeper movement, fantastic there from the Royal, recognising the situation. Another goal to bring it though. And Megabit has managed to get one back here for Germany. Driven into the box, and Mbappe rises highest and on it home.
England as well, continuing their domination. 4 now for Tex. How many can he put past South Africa? That's the real question for him now. It's just fun and games at this point. As we go back live, Finland from the corner!
Goal!
And still trouble in paradise. The Royal can't hold on to his lead. And France will be watching on and praying that Finland can carry on upsetting the Saudis.
Well, well, well. Speaking of the French players who are watching at the moment, look at them all. Maestro there, Dax in the background. They know how much that goal means to them. Cristiano Ronaldo with that header just before half-time sets this second 45 minutes up beautifully.
I mean, I'm sure all the French players and the French fans and crowd would be stood right behind Finland if they could. There's the group table once again. As you can see, a draw would not be enough to get Saudi Arabia close.
There might be a chance here just before half-time for another goal here for Finland, but Hullet has to step in. And 45 in-game minutes here for the Royal to keep Saudi Arabia's hopes alive.
So much pressure on that young man. Just words from Dasari as well, the experience from Dasari, the world champion. Arguably one of, if not the best players in the world, in the ears of the Royal. Now for everyone at home who's a fan of France, and of course for the French contingent in the crowd as well, they want Finland to get a result here. I'm sure you'll hear their voices loud in the crowd if Finland get another goal.
You certainly hear some allays coming out of Maestro. We heard them yesterday, echoing across the arena here. But that man on your screen knows the job he has to do. You have to remind ourselves, Dan, he was 1-0 down in this game. He managed to eke out a 2-1 lead. But that goal, just at the end of the first half there from Cristiano Ronaldo, has put the Royal in a situation where it's not just his pride on the line. It's an entire country behind him right now who need him to find, again, 2 goals now. Sorry, 1 goal. I can't do maths.
And we know how much FIFA means to some of the Saudi Arabian fans and how they get behind Asari and the Royal at every single tournament they play in. They'll be watching, they'll be hoping.
And maybe Modric is going to put him back into the lead. A save from Van der Sar, though, means it will be a corner.
Nice little passing move play, though, from the Royal. That's what he needs to do, just get round those 2 centre-backs. Try and get shots away on goal. Try and put Finland under pressure. He needs to be the one applying it.
Corner here for the Royal, does find Ronaldo towards the back post! And Ronaldo is doing so much damage from the corners at the moment. Saudi Arabia back in front.
And a roller coaster of emotions for Team France as they watch on as Saudi Arabia again edge even closer to catching them. However, they still would need a result in that 2v2. But the first step is securing a win in this 1v1 game for the Royal. He just needs that 2-goal cushion mark. He cannot afford to only be 1 goal ahead because Finland have looked deadly going forward.
So then, as it stands, Saudi Arabia will have a chance of going through, but here come Finland again. Big chance here, and they're back! 3 goals now for Finland! And the Royal can't believe it! Snipguy is doing a job here for France, as well as his homeland.
And I heard the roar from the crowd. I saw the French reaction. They loved seeing that ball nestle into the back of the net. And even a little Mbappe celebration from Maestro as well. There's hope and there's belief. Every time the Royal thinks that maybe he gets into the clear, maybe now he can start to press on. Finland spoil the dream yet again.
They have been so deadly in front of goal. Snipguy has only had a few chances in this game, but he's put them away every single time. And now the Royal, can he summon the powers of Saudi Arabia here to find another goal, because he's going to need every single piece of energy to carve out another opportunity. Here he comes, Modric on the edge of the box. Mbappe with the Cruyff turn, boy will ricochet back to Eusebio. Mbappe, inside now to Ronaldo, and they're back in the lead again! This game has everything.
And Maestro and the rest of the French guys can merely watch on, hopeless. They cannot increase their points total. They cannot increase their goal difference. They've done all they can. And it's the Royal who still is not letting the pressure get to him. Time and time again, he's been asked the question, and he has answered it.
It has been incredible resilience shown by the Royal, and this is how it stands now. Reminder, even if Saudi Arabia win this game, they still have to win the 2v2 as well. France still clinging on to second place. England are done and dusted, they're through. Top of the group. Can Finland write another chapter in this story? Big tackle though from the Royal, wins the ball back here, half an hour to go. Is there a sting in the tail here for Saudi Arabia, or will the Royal have done his job?
It's whether the Royal starts to let the occasion get to him a little bit now and plays defensive, turtles up, gives the ball away a couple of times. He's got to be very careful. I feel like if he doesn't find a 2-goal lead, there's always going to be that opportunity for Finland.
Ronaldo turns onto his right foot, tries to burst past, and there will be A free kick here to Finland. And a very dangerous position. The left foot of Gareth Bale is stood over it as well. And Bale goes direct! Ah! What a moment! Gareth Bale goes direct from the free kick and finds the top corner.
I love me a free kick. I love me a direct free kick. And that could be one of the most important free kicks for the French esports team.
There we go, back 4-4. Saudi Arabia, the Royal, back to you. It's almost like a tennis match here. And the rally just keeps going on and on and on. But nobody can find a winner at the moment. 4-4 between Finland and Saudi Arabia. We have other goals to bring you as well. England are currently 6-0 up in their game, so Tex is getting his job done, but we'll stay with this one for now, because we can't take our eyes off of this for a moment.
And it's been so many restarts, so many kickoffs, and it's so dangerous from these positions as well.
Oh.
But the ball sails out of play, and the time in the top left-hand corner starts to fade away from Saudi Arabia. The Royal has had to do so much. Elsewhere, Germany were down against Sweden, but they've managed to find an equaliser, and they really do want to go out of this tournament with a bang. Denting the hopes of Sweden, trying to get that 4th spot in Group C.
Back to the big game then. Finland versus Saudi Arabia. And here come Finland again. A goal here might just end Saudi Arabian hopes, and Ferdinand has to put it out for a corner. You're going to see changes coming in here for the Royal. 4-4 is not good enough. A draw is not good enough here for Saudi Arabia. They need the 3 points to stay in the tournament.
Finland playing for pride, playing for Global Series ranking points, but I mean, this is the inaugural eNations. You'd like to think there'll be another eNations next year, and potentially the year after, and after that. You're fighting for your spot in the team as well. Some of these players picked by their nation as the top players around. If you can go out with a bang, if you can show what you're made of, if you can get results against Saudi Arabia, why wouldn't you be in the back next time? The Royal. What's going through his head right now? One ear off, listening to the wise words of MS Dasari. And his coaches, of course, there as well, watching on.
One thing we have to remember as well is the fact that this comes down to the Royal, because Dasari couldn't get the job done as well. A last-minute equaliser on the PlayStation 4 meant that that first game was 1-1. And put the Royal into this situation. 17 minutes plus stoppage time for Finland to upset the party here and to send the French contingent into rapture, as they will go through. However, the Royal, he wants to keep his country's dreams alive here, and he's going to be streaming forward with every opportunity now, trying to carve out a chance, and there might be that chance. What an interception from Ramos that was. But the Royal gets the ball back, still coming forward now. Eusebio in and around the box. Pele, ball falls back to Eusebio, and Van der Sar gathers.
And Snipguy and Finland hold on and still have the potential to send France through to the knockouts. France, watch on. It was a horrible position to be in. Of course, several teams played all of their games yesterday and had to merely wait for results elsewhere. Mexico in a similar position later on, but France, they may have done it.
Look at the players just flowing forward here for Saudi Arabia. The Royals just throwing everything at Finland right now. Snipguy has to hold on for French hopes for the Global Series ranking points. And Vieira steps in and makes the tackle, and here comes Ronaldo. And here come Finland. Ronaldinho in space. Just attacking the line right now. Ball inside, I think the offside flag might go up, but it won't go up, and Saudi Arabia might be done here. Finland are 5-4 up. what is probably the biggest game of the tournament so far.
England, France, Saudi Arabia, all favourites, but Saudi on their way out. And France on their way through as Dax looks to the heavens, because all they could do was pray. And it looks like their prayers have been answered by the Finland.
Dax looks to the heaven, and Maestro shouts at it. And I'm sure that he can be heard from everywhere at the moment. However, with how crazy this game has been, there is still time left, Dan. We have to say, there is still time left for another twist in what has been an incredible tale so far.
Heartbreak for Saudi Arabia fans. 6 minutes left. Tournament life on the line. What has the Royal got left in the tank? Needs a goal, this attack really, to have any chance of rescuing 3 points here.
And that tackle is absolutely massive there for Finland. They've got possession back, and that means time off the clock here. Here's how it stands. Saudi Arabia quite simply will not have enough opportunity to get the points on the board as Ramos steps in. Eusebio into Ronaldo, the shot just goes wide. And with that shot just drifting wide, you have to feel the hopes of Saudi Arabia might have just gone with it.
And not only have Finland upset Saudi Arabia, not only have they sent France into celebration, but now Finland can start to look at that third spot. Okay, it doesn't get you a qualification place, but there's a hell of a lot of a pride for that third place, considering how tough this group was for Finland.
Here comes Snipguy, looking to make it 6 maybe. Into stoppage time now. And the job has been done by Finland here. The Royal couldn't get it done, Dasari couldn't get it done. And even with the goal here, there might be time. But he'd have to win the ball back almost immediately.
I don't think there is
I
time.
think the reaction of the Royal says it all.
A little bit too late, I'm afraid, as Saudi Arabia, unless there's a miracle with a referee waves play on, they will be eliminated from the competition. Disappointing for Finland to throw away that lead, though. They wanted that 3 points. They wanted to push on for third. They still do have the 2v2 game, but wow. The Royal has had such a tough game here. Snipguy made it so difficult.
Goal for the visitors, number 7.
Just waiting for the referee's whistle, and it goes! And Saudi Arabia, another one of the favourites coming into the tournament, crash out in the group stages. France go through to join England in the knockout rounds from Group A. And what a roller coaster that was, Dan.
That means we have our 4 qualifiers from Group A and Group C. France, England, Argentina and Brazil. 4 teams that in real football are always up there as some of the best, but it looks like in FIFA as well, the nations have been represented fantastically by the players, but it's going to be a long old trip home for the Saudi Arabian players.